Welcome back to Final Fantasy XII. We're back in the waterways here. Yeah, I'm doing a different recording session here because I forgot about the Flan fight. So anyway, we're going to be heading through the rest of the waterways this time. But before we do that, I just want to mention a couple of things. I probably already mentioned this, but Amalia has Libra active. Maybe I didn't need to cast that on Vaan. So Balthier and Fran always join at whatever Vaan's level is +1. Also, I forgot to actually show this, but there is an item that we could have equipped, the Goddess's Magicide. This doesn't require any license and reduces MP to 0. You might be thinking that that makes no sense to equip, but then look at that magic resist there. So, reduces your MP to 0, but gives you a lot of extra magic resist. So looking at this gameplay effect might help you figure out what that thing did to Fran's hoverbike in that cutscene. So anyway, it's actually decent to equip on anybody who has no magic. Also, we have the Firefly here, reduces experience earned to 0, so that's basically a self-imposed challenge item that's yeah, I think it's probably exclusive to Zodiac Age. I mean, I know people probably did low-level challenges of the original game, but I'm not sure there were any, like, actual in-game provisions for it. It probably doesn't have any, like, hidden properties like the EXP 0 abilities in Kingdom Hearts, because in these kind of games, there's often a lot of things that you can use to, you know, compensate for a level disadvantage. Fran is very tall, I just realized. Probably not a thing that most people are noticing, but anyway. Yeah, this is still pretty dramatic music for a sewer, but it's still cool. Okay, looks like we have a bit of a preview down there. I think, in fact, that's either where we're trying to go or where we fought the rats earlier. Oh, hello. That was actually a legitimate jump scare. Also, I still have your gambits on. I'm going to turn that off so that you don't spam dark on things. Yeah, basic attacks are a lot faster than fire, it seems. I think you get ways to increase your cast time a little bit later. Also, actually, speaking of which, do I have some... Yeah, I have some LP that I can spend. Sorry to go off of my my exploration to spend LP, but something that also just opened up on the license board is, yeah, this is how you get more Gambit slots. You can spend LP on them, and there's actually a lot of additional Gambit slots you can get. I'm a little torn on getting these because I think extra Gambit slots are more useful later on in the game where you have access to more Gambits. At this point, I'd probably rather go for the extra HP. And that unlocks even more HP increases. Guess I can grab accessories too while I'm here. Okay, yes, for Balthier I'm still saving up for Fires of War. No point getting extra gun licenses while I'm in here because I probably won't get any more, but Betelgeuse, I think that's actually what the movie Beetlejuice is named after. It's the name of a star, and it's also weirdly a demon in Shin Megami Tensei 2, I think. I was gonna go for Protect, wasn't I? I can get extra Gambit slots as well. Aqua, Silence, Reflect, and Disable. I forget how long it is until we get Aqua. Also, Aqua was called Water in the original version of this game. See, I remember, like, the spells being called, like, Wartera and Wartaga. Oh, hi there. That's almost certainly undead. Also, we have... Oh, I remember these things. They're kind of goblin-like things. But anyway, week 2, I think that's Holy, which we don't have access to any Holy magic at this point. However, now might be a good time to show something. So, I'm going to go ahead and just turn everybody else's Gambits off, just so I can show something here. I can, actually tell Amalia to cast Cure. I press L1 on the ghost. Hopefully this works. Yep, okay, it doesn't do a lot of damage though, but it's a thing that you can do. Now let's see what happens if I... Well, I mean, I could throw a Phoenix down, but that's a bit of a waste of the item. What happens if I throw a potion? Yeah, potions, yeah, again, are nearly instantaneous, and that's actually pretty fun against undead enemies. course, you got the action queue to keep track of there. But obviously going to go ahead and turn, not your gambits, going to turn everybody else's gambits on. But yeah, that's a fun thing that you can do with these enemies weak to water. They don't really have much water magic at this point. I think water magic in general, I don't know if this version of the game actually changed. Actually, now would be a good time for dark, because they're not black magic, it's in arcane magics. Wow, that's actually a very wide AoE. And its cast time is actually pretty quick too, for what it is. So should definitely go for that whenever I have the chance. Somebody take out that other one. Good. And there we go. Yeah, well, of course, we're a little bit hurt. I think somebody should be cure gambiting us relatively soon. But I can always just tell her to do it. Again, so much for that guest tutorial saying that guests don't take orders. That seems to have changed in this version of the game. I should probably also, I might as well get Fran to do it. Because Van has a ton of health. See, I forgot those, I don't even know how to pronounce their names, but those goblin-like enemies showed up here, the sort of flying goblin things. There's something over there, but I can't quite see what it... Well, somebody's... Oh, it's a toad. Okay. Yeah, well, I can fire it from up here. We've got a lot of decent ranged options in this game. Meanwhile, Amalia just ran down there and hit it. 2 chests here. Always best to check these little silken shirt. Does anybody have the license for that? Mystic Armor 2. Does increase magic power and MP as well a little bit, unless the MP is a side effect of the magic power increase. Not sure if this is one of those games where having more magic increases your MP. Really? Nobody has access to the silken shirt. I think Penelo might. I guess since Fran is in Red Battle Mage, she's probably more focused on heavier armor than, No, I've got Mystic Armor 1. I guess I need Mystic Armor 2 to get that. Oh, there we go, yeah. And I like how the items light up if you actually have them in your inventory. So I would have to get either Maces 1 or some... I suppose I can go for Accessories 1. Then I could get that, and then I could get Mystic Armor 2, which will let me equip that. I might even be able to get that fairly soon, actually. It's always just a thing of thinking what licenses are best to prioritize at any given time, because probably best to go for like the weapon and armor ones early on, because you're more likely to... That's a crossbow, isn't it? Of course, I would get that after Penelo leaves. Yep, that is a crossbow, which is considered a two-handed weapon, so you lose the ability to equip a shield. Does anybody here... Yeah, oh, actually you can see who can use it with the those icons there, so yeah, nobody here can use that. Of course, you know, if you build your characters differently with licenses, you know, you might be able to... Oh, there's a ghost there. Yes, you can get a bit of a preview from the menu there. Yeah, it is pretty physically resilient, it looks like. Oh, right, they can inflict blinds. Good to know. Because, yeah, as you can see, Van's going to miss pretty much all the time now. Yeah, I think Amalia has a permanent Libra, which is nice. And Van is blinded. Do I have... I think I have, I do have Blinder. Okay, that animation took a little while to cure the blindness, but there we go. I mean, for the most part, blind is not, like, ridiculously dangerous in this game, because it's not like you lose turns or other things for missing a lot, or, like, say... You know, I keep saying it, but Xenoblade, you would lose tension for missing a lot, but still, it's definitely annoying when it happens to you, so it's still best to cure it. I don't know if there are any enemies that get particularly crippled by blind. In fact, wasn't blind kind of useless in FF6 because the physical evasion stat did nothing and magical evasion counted for both physical and magic, so I think... I forget if that was the game where blind did nothing. I know there was one game where there were certain status ailments that were completely useless because of various issues. I know that FF1 had a lot of spells that literally did nothing because they were coded horribly. I think it was like XII that did nothing. It was supposed to be like a banishment attack, but Anyway, you might actually notice, so see here how there are a lot of steps that go into the water, but we can't actually go into those steps because the water's blocking the way. And we've had sluice gates mentioned. So, about that, I'm not entirely sure how you actually, like, get to it, but there is an optional boss in this place that requires you, I think, to manipulate the water levels. But I forget exactly how, like, early or late you have access to that. Oh, look, a huge door and a save point in front of said huge door. That isn't ominous at all. So, yeah, that's healed us, so we don't need to worry about healing up or anything. I don't know if we should change Gambits at all before we go in there. I think I still want to be controlling Fran because I want to try something, and oh, Balthier is so close to having 50. I mean, he'll get it eventually. Oh, and I guess we have never actually used the party command before, so we can actually take these two out of the party if we wanted to. I think going solo is a valid tactic in some areas. So, like, just to check what I have, Gambit's on. Varn is just being a simple attacker, I suppose. I guess I can set him to, like, a potion Gambit just for emergencies. Oh, yeah, this is, like, the, Garum Scythe Waterway Control. Rusted device. Yeah, currently locked in place. So, yeah, I believe there's, like, a switch puzzle here that you can do a bit later that leads to an optional boss. And it's an optional boss that gives you a pretty good reward, but I don't want to talk too much about those optional bosses at this point because, it might kind of spoil something as to what exactly they are. They're one of my favorite aspects of this game, but I won't say more for now. Yeah, I remember this guy. This is what I like to call the first real boss of this game. I'm not really sure why there's suddenly a magical Rapidash in the sewers, but anyway, that thing is the Fire Main, and obviously it is weak to water. Oh, Libra actually works on it, that's cool. So, we don't have any water, and I want to just try something. This is probably going to go terribly. I'm guessing you're either immune or you drain this. Yep, you drain fire, so obviously I don't want to be using that on it, but I can still use Dark. I can also try and steal. I want to, like, try and steal from bosses if I can, because bosses often have good steal. Potion! Well, yeah. I guess they didn't have good steals at this point. Can I slow you? I mean, and generally a lot of, FF games don't actually have great, debuffs. Oh, this part of the song is great. The boss theme in general is really good in this game. I really remember loving the boss theme. Okay, so Dark still does quite a bit. I should probably start spamming that for a bit. Or I can just set Fran on Gambit's on so she'll just keep spamming Dark. I think this guy does have like a... Oh, there it is. Yep, it's coming. It's coming. So this right here, and I think everyone's names are in red because they're going to be targeted by that. There's no way I can really defend or try and block this. I'm pretty sure this is a cutscene attack. I mean, it's delayed in its use because of, the slow, but yeah. And I still, like, absolutely remember loving, it poisons you as well. Interesting. Okay. I guess I should, try and heal that off. I don't really have any, poison cures, but I do have... Who is Amalia curing right now? I can't actually tell. It looked like she was just curing herself, okay. And I probably have some items that can cure, I have like a bajillion antidotes, let's go ahead and do that. Gotta wait for my cure action cooldown to wear off. And let's go ahead and then use a, not an eye drops, an antidote on myself to cure that. But yeah, I remember loving that back in the original because bushfire is a very Australian term, so I don't know if this is supposed to be like an Australian magical fire horse, but I just always thought it was cool we saw the term bushfire there. Side note is that, like, back in the day when I was playing with Pokemon cards, there was, like, one of the early Fire theme decks was called Brushfire. I was very disappointed to find out it was actually Brushfire and not Bushfire, though not as disappointed as I was when I found out the deck didn't have a Charizard in it, and they expected you to actually find a Charizard in booster packs and add it to the deck later. That was really frustrating. Instead came with, like, a 9-10... Oh, I didn't even notice that Bushfire. I should have been paying more attention instead of telling stories from my childhood. We're gonna take quite a bit of... Oh, okay, only Vaughn got hit by that. I guess with an AoE, we probably should have moved away from that the first time. And I don't think it's still slowed, because that Bushfire came out very... No, it's still slowed. Okay, that just came out really quickly. I still don't have anything in the way of, like... And I'm out of MP for that. Like, anything in the way of water magic. Okay, get rid of your poison. I still kind of like the beaker icon there. Wow, that thing is really going into Varn there. I mean, not that I mind, because he's kind of my tank right now, which is sort of ironic given that he's supposed to be a thief, but at least in my build. Actually, I haven't mentioned this yet. Bolthea has the highest speed of the party, which I only found out recently. So he's probably a better fit for the Shikari class than Varn is. And dramatic defeat explosion. Or, you know, just turning into an orb of fire and going away. So why exactly there was a giant magical fire horse in the sewer, I'm not sure, but it was still a cool boss fight. And wait for it!
Stand where you are.
Oh, no victory theme.
Now's not the time.
I didn't expect Vayne himself to show up here. But yeah, I didn't remember this. The save points were telling you that you wouldn't be able to leave for a while for a reason.
They think me some common thief.
Better than a common assassin.
These people have done nothing. Release them.
What are you doing?
Don't interrupt me. I'm thinking.
Wait! Where do you think
know what he
you're
was
going?
doing. You have to let him go. You have to.
Pinello! Sorry. That dinner will have to wait.
I told you.
That's enough!
Leave him alone.
Hold on to this for me, would you? Just until I bring Varn back.
On your feet, you over here.
All right. Edgy, aren't we?
It's Balthier, my brother.
What does that philanderer think he's doing? I was to kill Balthier, not those addle-pated Imperials.
Oh, I forgot he showed up this early. So we're entering a point of the game that I actually don't remember a lot of. I vaguely know what happens next in terms of just the core structure, but I'm honestly very blank on this particular segment.
I brought you some of those flowers you like. Galbana lilies. Remember?
Oh, they're what his brother likes.
You always said how they smelled nice and how pretty they were. Remember? The king. Did you? Were you really a part of it? Even if you were, Captain Bosch must have tricked you into it.